Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Companies to watch.
All right, plenty of earnings these days and plenty of companies to watch. And helping us to watch them, Dan Cole. Good morning.
Good morning, Ryan, and plenty of places to fly to, you bread squeezer. All right, Ryan, this year, any travel plans for you?
I am struggling to put together travel plans right now, so I would say no. How about you?
Yes, I will be flying very soon to an undisclosed place. I won't say it yet. It's
Why?
a surprise.
Oh, it's a surprise. All right.
Yes. I'd like to include Imad into this conversation as well. Imad.
Good morning,
Good
Ivan.
morning.
Flying plans?
Any flying plans? Yeah, potentially going to an undisclosed location next month. I'll leave that to me to
today,
know.
man.
Yeah, going to secret places.
Okay. Let's bring in Audrey to this conversation as well. Audrey, any travel plans?
Yes, there's an undisclosed place I'm heading to in May.
Oh, man. Okay, you know what? You guys got to answer this one, okay? Which airlines do you normally fly with?
Oh.
And which class?
All right. I'll go first. I usually go budget, so there you go.
Okay.
Budget.
Scoot?
For me, sometimes good, sometimes the others.
All right, Imad.
Yeah, usually budget. If Singapore Airlines has like fare sale going on,
Yeah.
sometimes they have like $200 flights to Phuket.
Yeah.
Which is true, by the way. Then sometimes I take
$200?
$250, I think. Then sometimes I take SIA. Otherwise, Scoot, Jetstar. There's a new budget carrier that goes to Japan called Zip Air. I highly recommend it as well.
Wow. Okay, Audrey.
I'm open to most airlines. I really enjoy flying Singapore Airlines, though.
Business class. Anyways, thanks for that, guys. Welcome to Companies to Watch. That's where we spotlight on stocks that you might want to pay attention to because we're looking at the market trends and risks that might be overlooked. So stay with us and join us in this conversation at 88550893 and tell us whether you think it's going to be a hot or not. And of course, we've been talking about flights, so today we're turning to our very own SIA. Now, it was incorporated back in 28th of January 1972 as the national carrier of Singapore, and it is, of course, one of the most successful airlines in the world, receiving numerous accolades and awards, including Business Traveller Asia Pacific's Best Airline Award, Skytrax's World's Best Airline Award, and I think it's pronounced as Condé Nast Traveller's Best Airline Award in the World Awards.
I did say it's a great way to fly.
It is. Ooh, good one, Ryan. Yes, and speaking of great ways to fly, it's got its latest earnings flying high by surging 146.7% with its net profit to $1.6 billion for the third quarter ended December 31st of 2024. And a lot of it, the company attributed the boost to one-off non-cash accounting gain of $1.1 billion stemming from the completion of the Air India Vistara merger back in November 2024. So looking at their numbers, let's dive deep into their latest financial results. And SIA's reported, their operating profit growing at a more modest year-on-year pace of 3.3%. And this came as revenue climbed about 2.7% from a year earlier. So the two carriers under the group carried a total of 10.2 million passengers in the third quarter of financial year 2025 to December, and that's 17.2% higher year on year. Can you guess who contributed the most, Ryan? Is it Scoot or is it SIA?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I'm just looking at the numbers. So stripping out the exceptional gains, profit grew faster than revenue, which kind of indicates that they were able to pass on higher costs. The fares went up more. So I'm thinking SIA contributed more to the entire equation.
Certainly, that's right, Ryan. A lot of people are spending more and more SIA business classes flights, with the full service airline accounting for 7 million, up 11.4%, while its budget carrier Scoot contributed about 3.2 million. That's down about 1%. Meanwhile, cargo flown revenue also increased for the third quarter, with loads up 14.6% year over year from robust demand, thanks to strong e-commerce activity. And of course, if we look back at the Air India acquisition that SIA did with, the deal gave SIA a 25.1% stake in Air India Group, while autos to steel conglomerate Tata holds about 74.9% of the combined entity. So if you're thinking about it, this pretty much gives, SIA and the enlarged Air India another 51 new code-share destinations, offering enhanced travel options between Singapore and India as well as beyond. So certainly some good news for SIA there. And in fact, on top of that, despite, pointing to several headwinds such as cost inflation, supply chain constraints, geopolitical tensions, and economic uncertainty, SIA did say that it expects the demand for air travel to stay healthy in the last quarter of financial year 2025. That being said, Ryan, any big plans for 2025?
Travel plans?
Travel, yeah.
With young kids, it's very tough to make any travel plans. So I don't think in the short term yet, but hopefully soon.
You've lost a supporter here, SIA. But, yes, it did add it as well that demand for air cargo is supported by e-commerce and perishables traffic, but yield moderation is likely to persist as airlines increase belly hold capacity and shippers secure forward rates. So with that being said, I think it still paints a rather rosy outlook for SIA here. I'm going to go with a hot. What about you, Ryan?
Okay, I have to say it takes a very special type of investor to get into airlines because you pointed out a lot of potential concerns just now. Cost inflation, supply chain constraints, geopolitical tensions, economic uncertainty, increased competition. It's a very long list of moving parts. You haven't even mentioned the potential price of oil going up. So that's something to really take into account. And this means as an investor, you have to really look long-term, be very confident in the story of the airline. So I'm not that type of investor, so I'm going for not so hot.
All right, Ryan. You're going with the same for the consensus rating that we're seeing online, or I'm seeing online, as of the 21st of February. We've got TipRanks, Yahoo, and Barron's all giving it a relatively warm rating to it, a hold. And that pretty much wraps it for analysis of today's Stock in Focus, SIA. Now, Ryan, fun fact, earlier before we went on air, I asked you, right, did you know when and where was SIA's first flight?
Whoa, okay.
Any thoughts on that?
Let me try to analyze this. So they started or were incorporated back in 1972. So I'm going with maybe 1973, maybe January as well.
Oh, okay. A bit far-fetched, but its first flight was flown in October 1st, 1972.
Okay,
and the
same year.
flight, SQ108, was from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur.
Of course.
Yes, of course. Yes, okay. Now, Ryan, why don't pilots get lost?
Okay, why don't pilots get lost? Because they have a map, of course.
Because they always have a plain sight. Ryan, how does a rubber plane land?
How does a rubber plane land? With a bounce.
Close. Boing, 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 boing.
Not bad. That's something
all right.
good.
And that pretty much wraps it for today, SIA.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance. To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.